What's up, Coach Jay here from the Empire Boxing Podcast. Reminder that the TAKEOVER is coming up November 12th. It is a live-only in-person show. There will be no pay-per-view. So that means you got to get your tickets now and show up to cheer on the Canadian athletes performing in this fight. Don't miss the TAKEOVER.
An Empire Boxing and Unlearning Network production.
Welcome back to the Empire Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay, and we're here with Qadir. He is making his second appearance on our upcoming show, The TAKEOVER, November 12th. And I have to say, your first appearance, that fight was unreal. That was such an incredible back and forth between you and Terrence Floria. And I'm definitely going to ask you some questions about that today. But first off, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. And how's the camp going? How are you feeling so far?
So far, everything is going as planned. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I want to talk to you about Tupac. Because we were warming him up pre-show. The pre-show was just money. Tupac, favorite rapper. We got to get you out to LA and go experience that West Coast hip hop, history. And then you can get some sparring while you're in LA as well.
For sure, one day.
One day?
Yeah.
Maybe after this fight, it'll be a little celebration or something like that. You're going to need it. I mean, it's winter in Vancouver. It's not very fun. You need to get some nice weather. Although, a little known fact, LA can actually get fucking cold and rainy. So, yeah, maybe not the winter. Maybe not February. But that could be a nice little way to celebrate your next victory. Now, talk to us about the Terrence Floria fight from your perspective. It was a draw. How did you feel about the result? I know we asked you kind of post-fight, but you've had a few weeks to think about it now and you're training for this next fight. How did you feel like that fight went?
Honestly, I always give credit to my opponent and whoever else steps into the ring. I'm always honest with myself, and when people ask me, I give him his respect, and I told the past interview that, it was a close fight. He's a strong dude, and we thought we won. I think I was the one who is dictating the fight, even though for many people are watching boxing. And if watching that night, I'm different. I use different angles. I'm a little bit awkward. I fight here, I fight there. I fight sometimes in the back feet. Looks like I'm.
Speak your truth, man. This is the best part about having a podcast. We can say whatever the hell we want.
People say, "Oh, he's running," but hey,
you've got a slick back foot kind of style sometimes too. You come forward and you move back, and you can fight it with both feet.
Yes, for sure. Usually I'm more back feet, and I can fight anywhere, and I can switch southpaw. I can, which I did, and sometimes my hands are down, and I'm a fighter, man. That's all. But we thought we won the fight. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. But we thought we won the fight, and we even have the score from the third judge. If I'm not mistaken, 3 judges the fight. Yeah. I'm not that good with boxing. The judges. Yeah, so we find out it was, do I give the number?
Hey, yeah.
I think it was 39-37, if I'm not mistaken, 39-37. But regarding all that, I just felt like I won the fight. I felt like I was in control. He was very disciplined with his hand. His chin down, his hands are...
His defense was tight for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And as you can see, even though with his defense, my punches were connecting.
Yeah,
through the glove.
You create a lot of different angles, like you were saying. So you would be, you were landing punches through the defense, and the defense was great. It was a close fight. It was very back and forth, but it seems like you feel like you had the control, and you would have.
That's what I felt. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And did you feel there? So there was one shot. Terrence said right hand kind of hit the top of your head, and it actually broke his hand, and he's still kind of dealing with that injury. Did you feel that punch?
That's the second punch. First, he caught me on the shin.
Yeah.
I think first round.
Okay.
And then I think it was the second round, he threw that right overhand. It landed right on
The top
of the forehead.
Yeah.
And I feel boop. It is, I don't know
It
how
just
to
felt
describe.
different. Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know. It's like, how people say, for you to take me out, you have to kill me.
Right.
And I swear that I have a crazy chin. I have a crazy head. I don't know. Like, you gotta hurt me. Like, not just by,
Yeah.
you caught me, maybe I wobbled a little bit. But the thing is, I feel like people judge by those things. But if you look at it, I got caught the first punch by him. It was a good punch. If you look, people who know really boxing, I was the one actually came at him. I went, I'm like, hell no.
Coming forward.
You see my body language. And
Yeah.
I was like fully charged. And then the round ends.
Could you tell that he had hurt himself?
Second round, when he did the right overhand on the forehead.
Yeah.
Later on, like maybe 30-second minute, a minute later, we fighters, we know when we look each other's in the eyes.
You're like,
So he's slowing down, and he's not the same.
right. Now I can't remember. Was he hesitating to throw the right hand as well? Like, was he kind of slowing down his use of that right hand? I can't quite remember, but did you notice that?
I honestly did not notice him throwing punches.
Right.
He was actually throwing. He was still doing the same thing. He was pushing me in the rope,
Right.
doing his combination. But the only thing I experienced is the eyes.
Right. Okay.
I looked at him in the eyes. This is what I feel. It was something, not right.
Right.
And like, he didn't want it 100%, like, to finish the fight, or he really want to push me and just come after me. The hunger wasn't there.
Right.
The hunger wasn't there, because we fighters know
Right.
the breathing, when they breathe. And that's why when I say I was in control,
Yeah.
like, if people really know boxing, I'm still doing my thing. I'm moving. I'm boxing. My hands are up, and then it's up. Then
Yeah.
I'm dancing. Then I'm slipping here, slipping there, putting my hand down. Then jab.
Yeah.
It lands. If the first jab doesn't land, the second one lands.
Yeah.
Or if the second doesn't land, third one was landing. So that's why I say I was in control, and that's why I feel like I won the fight. I was the one. My style was more like, okay, I'm the one who's dancing. I'm the one who's like, maybe sometimes throw him on the rope,
Right.
and sometimes taking his shot.
Right.
Or I took 2 of his best shots. I think he landed in the whole 4 rounds. He had the best 2 shots, which one was the jab.
Yeah.
Almost didn't see it come in.
Yeah.
And the second one, which top of the forehead.
Yeah.
And then I didn't feel anything. For me, it was another punch. But if you look at my body language, I'm standing there right in front of him,
Right.
with my hand down. So I watch his post interview, and then he goes, or they go, whatever it. Oh, I made him do this dance. I made him do that
Right,
dance.
okay.
All that, Also, I watch right after the fights were over, and then he's doing the shuttle boxing, like the fresh dance, like boom,
Right.
boom, boom,
Right.
boom,
Right.
boom.
Okay.
And then in my head, I'm thinking, like, no disrespect. We fight, and it's good to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
But then, where were you when I was there? Why wouldn't you do all that
Right.
when
Yeah.
the fight was there?
Yeah.
Like I said, I fight, I do my thing outside. I'm cool. I don't disrespect. I don't, I feel like sometimes some post interview with some guys, maybe, that's at the moment thing. They say like, oh, I did this. I made him do this, da, 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 da.
And here's the thing too. I mean, there's an element of marketing to boxing. You as athletes, like we're marketing you, we're promoting you. We are trying to stimulate sort of the the community of boxing. And I think both of you, your camp as well as Mendoza's have given incredible respect to each other. You guys, there was nothing said that was disrespect. But at the same time, like, there is like a friendly little rivalry here, and it's kind of fun. And someone's going to say what they're going to say after the fight. They're going to be confident. They're going to push themselves as an athlete. They're going to market themselves as an athlete. They're going to, especially on a draw, everyone's got something to say, and that's okay. And I think that's kind of the cool part of the position that you guys are in now after this fight is we kind of get a little bit of that, we get a little bit of that, one camp is saying like we won, the other saying we won. Of course, that's the natural, that's the thing that's going to happen after a fight like that, because it was so close. It was so high level. Both of you guys are so talented. You fought each other so well. So I think we have a really cool opportunity to have say what you need to say. And at no point I've seen any disrespect from either camp. It's been fantastic. Right? But you're gonna feel how you're gonna feel, right?
Yeah, but these people, I don't know them, but no, they're cool. Like we never had any, beef or we met at the wedding. There's nothing. That it was just I spoke my opinion.
Absolutely.
Opinion.
Yeah.
So this is all I'm saying. What I said after, and like you're right. People can say whatever they want.
They're gonna say something.
But that's from the experience. What I'm thinking is there are moments where we fighters, and then I like to do it in the ring, and he did it in the ring as well. And I like to do whatever needs to be done in the ring. All the dancing, all the moving, all the hands down, all the, you know what I mean?
You have a flair. You definitely have a flair to your style, for sure. And you have a lot of diversity to your rhythm, a lot of diversity. And we saw that. And I hope we get to see it again, because that is a very Qadir style. And that's why we love watching you box, and we love watching. We're gonna love watching the evolution of you as a boxer. Now, here's the last thing I want to ask you on the Terrence Floria topic. Do you want a rematch?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter. I'm sure he wants a rematch. I'll put it this way. Fight was July
16th.
I'm here. And I'm fighting November. People who know me, I've taken short fights, notice. I'm always at the gym. And when I say I'm a fighter. Like I don't want to say I'm a fighter of I did it. No, I'm a fighter. I'm at the gym. I'm training, fighting with myself, and there's a lot going on, but I'm a fighter. I train. I've always been disciplined like this, back in the amateur and now with professional. When they say, hey, there's a fight,
you're there.
Believe me, people who know me, I'm there. I don't say, I'm fat, I'm skinny, I'm not ready.
Right. There's no excuses.
Because when I train, this is what I feel. I don't want others to think, this is, dissing for them or just for me. When I train, I'm at the gym, I'm sparring. When I'm at the gym, when they say there's a fight, a fighter always have to be ready. I give an example. I don't want to bring the things, but I just give you an example. People say, are you ready for this next month? Are you ready for this? Somebody asked me, and I told him, how can you be not ready when a war comes and you say, wait a minute, guys, we're not ready, we're fat, let us warm up, let us stay in camp, My mentality is different.
Right.
So that was the example.
Amazing.
So I'm always ready.
Well, it was funny because we, it's on the topic of getting to know you. I remember, I think the first time, I believe we've even sparred together way back in the day at Eastside Boxing Club.
Yes.
And I remember you being the same, actually, and you also look like you haven't aged at all since that
Thank
time.
you.
So
I get that.
whatever you're
I get
doing,
that,
let's
but
talk
thank
about
you.
it post-show.
Thank
He
you.
wears UFOs. Yeah. So I was like, respect, because I definitely look like I have since that time. That was back like in what, 2017, 2018, something like that.
About 17, 18?
Yeah, and I don't feel like I've ever really got the opportunity to kind of hear your origin story as a boxer and what got you into boxing. Where did you begin?
So boxing was how I got into boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved boxing, and I'll tell you why or how it started. So the first tape I've ever watched, the first boxing match,
Yeah.
was Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
My older brother.
Do you remember who he fought?
That was, I think, Lennox Lewis.
Okay.
And he lost to Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
And so my brother had his tape from like 80 something to 90s and some. So first boxing match was Lennox Lewis I watched, and me, my brothers, and we're all watching, and where he lost. And honestly, I've never felt like that. It was for days. I was so sad. I was very sad.
Like you felt it.
I was big fan of. I didn't even know Mike Tyson, but I just from watching.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, he's Mike Tyson. He's he's the best. And later on, then I find out I don't know who really. But yeah, watching him losing to Lennox Lewis, I was very young, and believe me, I went to the balcony after the fight.
Yeah.
And I think I cried, and I was like, "Oh man, this is so sad." Like it was really sad that I still remember that day, and
Wow.
like, man, what's wrong with me? What? It's just, I was, yeah, right. So after that, I always liked boxing, and one of my the oldest brother, he had gloves and he had pads, and
Yeah.
he would go in the park, work out, and I was like 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
I would hold pads for him.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced boxing. He would say, "Oh, hold the pads," and I'll just, and he would work. He was like, "Hold it like that, hold it like that." He would correct me. He was,
Yeah.
"Okay, this is how you hold pad." And I was young. So that's from there, I fall in love with boxing. And then he would hold pads for me.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, one day, he's like, you should pick a sport and do a sport. And but I was honestly, I was very athletic, always doing something with my life, just climbing the trees and doing
Right.
the gymnastic things
Yeah.
and muscle ups and all these things. And I was young, so a lot of pull ups and push ups, things like that. And then I said, "Oh yes, I'm ready to pick a sport, boxing."
Yeah.
He looked at me.
Yeah.
He didn't like it.
Really?
He said, "You want to be stupid?" And I'm like,
Because
"Please."
of head trauma.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
like, "Please, begging you, put me in boxing. That's the only sport I want to do." He said, "No." So we have this respect thing for our elders,
Right,
especially
okay.
when we were young, and we can't say no. And he said, "Go do investing." That's it. He kept it short.
Mm-hmm.
That look. And I'm like, "Sure." Joined wrestling. Had fun with wrestling. Actually, it was really strong too. I was enjoying wrestling. I was winning some competition here and there,
Awesome.
and that's how. So when I stopped wrestling after about 5 years, did high school and then 2 years college, Simon Fraser University,
Okay.
with the top level of wrestlers like
Yeah, they've got a great wrestling team over there.
very good wrestler team. So we were with the
Didn't
best.
know you were a wrestler. That's very cool.
And then how do I say, retired from wrestling maybe. So then I was in my own, and then I was an adult, and now I can
Choose for yourself what you want to do.
So my younger brother, named Salim, he loved martial arts, and so he went to boxing. And then later on, I find out maybe 6 months later,
Yeah.
I go, "Hey bro, where are you boxing?" And he goes, "Yeah, here at Queensboro."
Okay.
Yeah, man, the gym is unbelievable. Great gym. So we one day, me and him, we both. I said, "I want to go with you."
Yeah.
And then that's the first time I stepped into the ring, into the boxing gym, was the Queensboro
Very cool.
Boxing, New Westminster.
Yeah.
And since the day one I went in, I was really athletic because I had the background wrestling. I was in shape. I was like, I felt like unstoppable, honestly. I was really, really feeling strong with my, even with my movement, because wrestlers are,
Absolutely.
you know.
Closing the distance, managing the distance, like being explosive, fainting. There's so many, there's a lot of parallels.
Yes, and there's something about when you do wrestling, when I came into boxing, it's almost like anybody comes closer to you or they want to push or they try, you literally, you grab them and throw them here and there. You're just fearless. Honestly, this is what wrestling gave me. I think all started from wrestling.
Yeah.
It's all started from wrestling. So I'm grateful that I done wrestling. And then coming to Queensboro, so from that day, I honestly fell in love, and coaches believed in me, and my amateur coaches, they're like, you're going to be a champion, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And like, they're like, wow, I trained 3 months. If I'm not mistaken, about 3 months, I went to Golden Glove. I won my first fight, Golden Glove, and stopped the guy in the second round.
You won by a stoppage.
Yeah.
Amazing. Was your big brother there?
No.
No? Okay. I was wondering if he was in the audience like...
he supports, but he's not in the audience.
Right,
My other brothers were there, yes.
Okay. Amazing. So that's how it all began. And then were you, at the time that I met you, were you training out of Eastside Boxing? Or were you just coming around to spar us?
Sorry, can you say it again?
Well, at the time that I met you, were you training at Eastside Boxing or were you just coming through to spar?
No, that was my gym. That was my gym.
Right, okay. And Frenchie Mike was there at the time as well. I remember, do you remember he had like a short kind of curly haired ponytail French guy, always wore the big silver earrings. Shout out Frenchie Mike. Jason, you remember Frenchie Mike?
I'm sorry. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I got it. Yes, he's very nice guy. He's a buddy of mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's I think he moved.
He did move.
He moved out Canada. He's don't know exactly where, but somewhere in.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's cool. Cause I remember that. Yeah. And I think it was like 2018. I remember moving around in the ring with you. And even at that time, like both you and Mike were, switching stances and stuff. And I was just a wee green little, amateur boxer. And I remember
you were very athletic.
I had that, but I was still, I had so much to learn at that time. Absolutely. Matt, I can't just stop rolling and I know. Just when you put your water glass down, just do it like super gently, just because Jason, you're gonna have to now edit this out. Sorry, but Matt's like, I'm like, okay, cool. Amazing. Well, yeah, I kind of wanted to get into the history because I feel like I've known you for a long time, but I don't really know you and your story through boxing and the wrestling side. That's so cool. So it's interesting to hear you because I'm obviously, I compete a lot more in jiu-jitsu now, but wrestling has really come into jiu-jitsu a little more so, and it's getting a little bit more, it's getting more utilized in jiu-jitsu. And it's always interesting to hear athletes that have been in other martial arts, if they notice crossovers between certain skills or ideas or footwork or like distance management, for example, or even just like feinting and shooting and the ideas that you can use from different martial arts and weave into boxing. So that's kind of cool to see that, you had your origin in wrestling, so to speak, but then, you were able to translate that in your first fight. I mean, you won by stoppage. That's ridiculous. So it was in your blood. Like you were born for this and you cried over Mike Tyson. And then here we are. We're fast forward. You've had your pro debut and you're on to your second pro fight. And how does it feel to be here right now?
I think I'm honestly, if I be honest with you, I think these are big things. Sometimes, I put it this way. I would see this coming, but I also wouldn't.
Right.
Wouldn't? Would it be correct? Yeah. Also, so I don't know. It's crazy. It's happening right now.
Yeah. You're in it. It's you. It's your life.
And but the dream was always, when I was training hard, I always wanted to see myself in the ring, especially as a professional. Right after I went to Queensboro, start training, I knew I was gonna fight amateur. It just from training hard and seeing. I just knew it's coming. But with the pro, it was a little bit confusing and wasn't sure.
Right.
And then I was like not confident, maybe confident.
Right.
Then not believing in myself, then believing again. You know, it was
Yeah.
ups and down. And then, I mean, we're here right now.
What was the final sort of, was there someone in your life that pep talked you, or was it you coming to the conclusion yourself that you should be confident and you are ready to be pro? Like, what was that final moment where you made that decision to turn pro like?
That's a good question. I think that would be myself. And at the end, I start believing myself. You know, I just like, dude, what are you complaining? Like, you have everything that the other athlete has, you know, or the other person. You're training, everything you're doing is in sports.
Yeah.
And dedication.
Dedication. Work ethic, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will just put work and work and work. And so one day I told myself, man, like, you came all the way here and that's it. And you're just gonna drop everything. That's it. What happened to your, just one dream fight maybe, you know, you wanted to fight in a professional, like, just see if you belong there, you know, if you can do this. So
what was that feeling like at the end when, you know, both you guys got your hands raised, whatever, but your own personal story with that, where you're like, go and check it out, see if you belong there. Did you think to yourself, yeah, I definitely belong here?
For sure. That was the feeling right after I told myself.
And now are you heading into this next fight? Is that sort of emotional kind of up and down of doubt, is that less than that first camp?
I can say that for sure. Yes.
And then it's going to continue to get less and less until you're going to come up against probably like a really formidable opponent at some point that's going to make you doubt yourself for a second. But I think maybe the worst of that is behind you. Do you agree?
Sure. Yeah, I agree. You know, same thing with amateur fights. You're not sure, and then nerves are always being nervous
for sure.
Always doubting yourself, like, oh, you don't belong here, or no, you do belong here. No, you don't belong here. The more you do it, the comfortable you get.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the comfortable you get. So I already passed, maybe I can say like a test. So I test myself, and I showed myself, and that I can do it.
Yeah.
Why not? And so I train hard. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And I get beat up in the sparrings. You know, we go through injuries, and honestly, that's the reason I feel like I should be fighting. Why not? I'm training so hard. If I'm not training hard, then
like, what's the goal? Like, are you doing it to do it? Or if you're training that hard, you might as well be stepping in the ring and fighting, you know, as a professional boxer. We think you would definitely belong there. That was an incredible pro debut. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we're very much looking forward to the next one as well.
Looking forward as well. This is where I am right now. So the plan is to continue fighting and see what comes. Yeah, but I'm always at the gym, so that I'm training to fight. And I always tell, when I go to gyms, and I tell them that I'm training to fight. So I will never put you guys down when there's fight. And many gyms that I've trained, they know, like, I've never backed up a fight or you know. So I was always ready. Even when I wasn't ready,
You said you were
I
ready.
was ready.
Yeah.
You know, believe me, I got a call one day. I was working maybe 5 hours before a main event. It was an amateur, and I wasn't even in shape. I mean, I was in shape, but I wasn't in camp, or I hadn't. But they called me 5 hours, 6 hours before a main event in same day.
Wow.
Hey, there's a fight. Would you want to do it? It's in a main event. Opponent didn't show up. Something happened, and I'm like, just give me half an hour. I gotta call my ward and see if they can. I was working that, and I said, see if they can find a replacement.
Yeah.
And if that works, I said, You'll
take it.
leave. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So-
So when you say work, what is it that you daylight as? What do you do? And
I do security guard.
okay, cool.
Well, not security guard. Loss prevention officer.
Okay.
Store detective.
Okay. Cool.
So,
Oh, undercover kind of thing.
shoplifter.
Yeah.
You know. So
See who's scoping the Colgate aisle, looking to steal some toothpaste.
He just roams pretending to buy toothpaste.
That's great.
I love it.
That's
Well,
great. You know. Let me just say, London Drugs down on Abbott Street needs you. That's
I was
that's
actually.
where I live.
I was everywhere, all
Yeah.
mainland. I've worked from grocery stores to clothing stores to like even down here, the Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah.
We're on the second
Downstairs.
floor. Yes, downstairs.
Wow. Did you
For
pop
like,
in and say hello before the show?
for like 5
Hey guys,
years?
remember me?
Do we need to black out your face so that no one knows that it's you?
Amazing.
No.
So is the goal for you to be like, do you want boxing to be the thing that keeps you from having to do other things? Like you want that to be your full time?
Good question. I honestly do. How do I say it? I do. I don't want to say, oh, boxing is everything. Boxing, is, or my job is everything. I'm just doing whatever at the moment.
Right. You
And,
seem like a pretty go with the flow guy.
We can say that. I
Yeah.
just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
I go with the flow. I have a full-time job and full-time job.
Yeah. As an athlete.
Yes, and I'm just enjoying both. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, talk to us about your. We were just had the privilege of chatting with River, one of your teammates, who's also going to be on the card, and she was talking about her experience training with John. And I believe you're relatively new at Quinit. Like, when did you get to that club, and how has your experience been like training with John Quinit?
Good question. It's been about 2 years.
Okay.
I joined Quinit Boxing, and I honestly, before we say anything else, so I think the reason I'm here today and at my pro debut and all that, I think because not I think it is because these guys helped me a lot.
Right.
These guys, they helped me a lot. They believe in me more than I do, and sometimes coaches do that. And even I had doubts when I was training at Quinit, and some hard day sparring and hard days, and you're like, man, I'm not built for this.
Yeah.
But then there are bad days and good days. But then the coach is like, no, this is totally normal, and they helped me a lot with getting into this professional. I think this is the gym that did help me. Not how do they say? Not talking, but action.
Yeah. Turning kind of the conversation into.
So
into
they wouldn't
action,
talk
for sure.
much. So they wouldn't, talk much. Oh, we're gonna get you into this.
Yeah,
We're gonna
just do it.
They just
Yeah.
they were working on it, and here we are.
Yeah.
And they always most of the time, I think they're more about action.
Right.
They're this is what I experienced. They're more quiet, but then they'll work on things like what you need or what he needs, what
Right.
she needs, and that's what I felt from Quinit. And like because of them, I'm here. Because of them, I was my pro debut, and many gyms I've trained. Some gyms would think I'm too old for this, and which is I feel like it was a little bit negative. So, but Quinit is just they look forward, they look positive, and let's go, and that's why that's my home now, and that's why it is a place where they're gonna move me forward with my boxing career.
It sounds like there's, you have a perfect sort of support system around this for you at this phase. And it's really exciting. You have your future ahead, and you go with the flow, and whatever flows will go.
I like that. Go with the flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I live life. So
absolutely.
Go with the flow.
Now, okay. So this is my favorite part. So you get to play matchmaker, and you get to create a fantasy matchup of your choosing. Any two boxers, any weight class, from history or from present day, who would you match together? What fight would you want to sit ringside and watch as the matchmaker?
We're talking about professional?
Yeah, fantasy land. Like, for example, it could be like Mike Tyson versus Tyson Fury. It could be anyone. What match would you want to see?
I think that's a really tough question.
That's what I'm here for. The tough questions.
I don't think I have that right now. I don't think I have, but I would say these people are already fought. I would say a different time. Not different time. Right timing.
Okay.
I would say Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Fighting either Lennox Lewis or Holyfield. Holyfield.
Okay.
Let's say 90s or before 90s.
Okay.
89, 88, 89, 90s, early 90s.
And who would you have to win that fight?
Mike Tyson.
Mike.
And that was a dream for me. I mean, it would be the dream to see, because I feel like Mike fought Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. That's after 1995, something like that. 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
So he wasn't it, and he was still good, but he wasn't 100% there.
Right. Okay.
That would be a fight I would love to see.
Right.
Match these guys in 90s, 89, 88, something like that.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. So just shift them through time and have them do it again. Very cool. Yeah. Now, if you could fight anyone, any professional boxer throughout history or present day, who would it be?
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd
Mayweather.
Pretty boy Floyd. Both of you guys have some real, elusive styles. That would be quite the matchup.
You know why I said Floyd? Because
tell us.
It's I don't know why I felt it this way. Because maybe 2-3 years after my amateur boxing, staying at the gym for like 2-3 years fighting in amateurs, and I felt really good. I feel like, man, I don't know what it is. I was like, I'm too fast. I'm slick. I'm small. I can do Floyd's things. This is the time where I was like, man, I wonder if I was, I had people just like Floyd's, I would be with the right people, right training, right diet, and right everything.
Yeah.
And full-time training, me being professional, he's being professional. I don't know what it is, but back then, maybe like not right now. Back then, I believed. I believed in me.
Yeah.
Like maybe 8 years ago, I believed in me. Like something would be very interesting. I would be like, because fighting with Floyd is not about physique. It's not about the big guy, the small guy. I think this is what I felt.
Mental boxing.
It was all here.
Yeah.
And with
very cool.
So yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, maybe one day we'll all live to see it. He's coming back and fighting really anyone at this time. Thanks to Triller.
You never know.
Yeah. So I mean, in what 10
Exhibition.
years? 10 years from now, you got some you got some belts. You're a little famous. You have a fur coat, a really hot wife. Like who knows? And then Floyd comes out of retirement, and y'all have that would be great. I would be here for that. Maybe it'll be in like some kind of floating ring or something. The way this boxing is
something,
we just don't know. Lots of
3
smoke
round,
machines.
4 round, something.
Yeah.
Like
you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
I would like to be alive for that. So let's make that happen in the future somewhere. We're all going to be really rich promoters. We're going to have fur coats. Dan Norman will definitely have a fur coat. Cool. And I would love to see that. Now, are you ripping Tupac in the gym when you're training? Like Qadir's on the bag, he's going for it. We got Tupac on the speakers, or what's happening?
No, it can be any music.
You're not taking over DJ and you're like kicking everybody else out and you're like
no,
playing the pot.
I used to be like that. Maybe now I'm Visor.
Okay.
I'm Visor, but when I was younger, I was like, yo, play something else. Now I leave people alone.
Now he's go with the flow.
Whatever playing.
So I like this. It's very zen. This is a very zen thing.
Like I said, I used to be maybe someday that would be annoying. I would, can you change the music?
Yeah.
Which I find out this but right now I go to gyms, I go places. You go with the flow.
Right.
Whatever music, it is what it is.
Right.
So listen to it. It's not your home. It's
Yeah.
like it's now maybe this is a new generation. So
Yeah.
these are like I said, I'm not in that how do I say mindset. Okay, I need to change the iPad, but I was like that. Not anymore. But like I said, Tupac,
He's your guy.
good guy.
Yeah,
Good
nice.
guy.
Now you're fighting in the next couple weeks here. I guess what are we? We're like just a little bit over 3 weeks to the day. And how are you feeling about this camp? We're talking a little bit about this. This episode won't be released till later, so you can speak your truth. But how are you feeling? Is doubt creeping in? Are you feeling confident? How has sort of the whole experience been for you? Are you ready to make a statement?
To be honest, there are every fight, no matter how long you're training, how much you're training, and even with having a belt, not having a belt, being professional, doing this for a long time, there's always going to be nerves and
Like ups and downs.
I do have doubts for sure.
Yeah.
Every day, every day I wake up, I think I have doubt.
Right.
So with every fight, I do have doubts. But sometimes when I have doubts, I do better.
Right.
The good result comes out after the fight.
Yeah.
But it's very strange. But when I tell myself, oh, you're the best, you can do this, you can kick his ass, you can, you go in there, you just easy peasy. And then, but it's the opposite.
Yeah.
That's why I said visor, and now more like whatever happens. But for me, I put all the hard work at the gym, and I just go in there. When I go in there, and it gives me that right after the bell, I start feeling myself. I'm like, oh, okay, they're here. But walking into the ring a week before a fight, there are always doubts, nerves, and oh, you're here again, and why are you here again? But then we're there.
Yeah.
Almost every fight I fight, and I say, why are you here again?
Yeah.
But then I go there, I do good, I do very good. Win, lose part of it, and I'm like, damn, that was really good.
That's
and
why I'm here.
I'm going back to the gym.
Yeah.
So I want a next fight.
Yeah.
Comes the next fight closer, I'm like, oh, back
I'm
again.
so glad that's over. And then come the next one, you're ready again.
Ready again. Same emotional, like all that. But I think it's normal.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think what you're speaking of kind of like, you see it in yourself, you recognize it, and you move through it, and you have a support system, and you kind of older and wiser, right? You figured out what you need to help manage that, because everyone has a different mental journey and physical journey through like the combat process. Everyone has a little different kind of experience. A lot of similarities probably across the board. I think there's a lot of up and downs for everyone. To what degree is unique. But when you finally realize and learn yourself, you learn what you need to cultivate around you to help you manage that and get from point A to point B successfully, win or learn. And it sounds like you're kind of in that place, and you have a great community over it.
I believe so.
Quinit Boxing. And I think you're on your path. I mean, what we saw that night was someone who belonged in the pros and belonged to be there.
Thank you.
And we're extremely proud to have you on this next event. And we can't wait to see you perform. And the evolution of you in your career, we're along for the ride with you for sure.
And I also want to thank you guys for having me and believing. So I do thank you guys. Big thank.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you haven't got your tickets yet, go ahead and do it. See this man in action yet again. The Takeover, November 12th. Qadir, it was such a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more episodes. We're also on Spotify, Apple Music. We're on Instagram at Empire Boxing Promotions. Don't sleep on us.
Make sure to listen, follow, and subscribe to Empire Boxing on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.